We'd like to show it to you today for the first time. And we call it the iPad. So, let me show it to you now. This is what it looks like. I happen to have one right here. That's what it looks like. Very thin. Looks just like this. So, just give you a little overview. It's very thin. And you can change the background screen, the home screen, to personalize it any way you want. People put their own photos on it, I'm sure, but we ship a few, and you can make it anything you want. And what this device does is extraordinary. You can browse the web with it. It is the best browsing experience you've ever had. It's phenomenal to see a whole web page right in front of you, and you can manipulate with your fingers. It's unbelievably great. Way better than a laptop. Way better than a smartphone. And you can turn iPad any way you want. Up, down, sideways. It automatically adjusts however you want to use it. And again, to see the whole web page is phenomenal. Right there, holding the internet in your hands. It's an incredible experience. Phenomenal for mail. You want to focus in on a message? You can do that. See your inbox. Again, just turn iPad sideways. Get a different view on your mail. Push the Compose window. A keyboard pops up that's almost life-size. It's a dream to type on. For photos, your albums are shown as stacks of photos. Your albums are events. You can unfold them, look at all your photos, flick through them. Got some great slideshows built in. It's a wonderful way to share your photos with friends and family. Built in a calendar. You can see your month's activities or your day's activities and everything in between. Built in a great address book for your contacts. Have a great Maps application, which works with Google's back end. Show you maps, satellite views, zoom in on things. iPad is an awesome way to enjoy your music collection. And, of course, we have the iTunes Store. Built right into the iPad, so you can discover music, you can purchase it, movies, TV shows, podcasts, iTunes University, everything built right into the iPad. YouTube. You can watch YouTube on it, including YouTube in high def now. They've got a lot of high def video. And, of course, it's awesome to watch TV shows and movies on. So that gives you a little overview of what the iPad can do. But it's nothing like seeing it. So I'd love to show it to you now. So let's go back to the hardware a little bit. The iPad is really thin. It's a ½ an inch thin. And it weighs just 1.5 pounds. That is thinner and lighter than any netbook. And it's got a gorgeous 9.7-inch IPS display. Super high quality display using IPS technology so you get great angle of view as well. Very high quality display. And as you know, Apple builds the best capacitive multi-touch sensors in the world. Married to our great display, it's terrific. Super responsive, super precise. iPad is powered by our own custom silicon. We have an incredible group that does custom silicon at Apple. We have a chip called A4, which is our most advanced chip we've ever done, that powers the iPad. It's got the processor, the graphics, the I/O, the memory controller, everything in this one chip, and it screams. And you can have 16, 32, or 64 gigabytes of flash solid-state storage inside the iPad. It's got the latest in wireless networking. Wi-Fi 802.11n and the latest Bluetooth 2.1. And the usual suspects: accelerometer, compass, speaker, microphone. It's got a 30-pin connector, so it plugs into the whole ecosystem of iPod accessories. And it's got battery. What is the battery life of this remarkable device? We've been able to achieve 10 hours of battery life in this 1.5-pound device. 10 hours of battery life, which means I can take a flight from San Francisco to Tokyo and watch video the whole way on one charge. It's pretty nice. And in addition to 10 hours of battery life, it has over a month of standby life. So we could just set the iPad down, it would go to sleep automatically. We'd come back in a month, it would still have charge. It's remarkable. Environmentally, the iPad's a great citizen. It's arsenic-free, bromide flame retardant-free, mercury-free, PVC-free, and its aluminum and glass enclosure is highly recyclable. So that's a little bit of an overview of the iPod's hardware. Soon, you will be able to get an iPad in your hands, starting at just $4.99. We've got some really great accessories as well. Let me show you 3 of them. First one's very simple. We have a dock. Well, why is that so interesting? Because, you know the slideshow I showed you? Well, when you're in the lock screen, there's a little button that you just push, and it puts you in the slideshow, and you have a great picture frame to look at your photos while the iPad is charging on your desk. It's very nice. We have another dock for the iPad that's interesting, the keyboard dock. So, full-size mechanical keyboard. You slide your iPad into it. Of course, it charges, has a 30-pin connector out the back for charging. So you can charge your iPad, and when you really need to do a lot of typing, this is the way to go. Just keep one of these in your den. When you've got to write War and Peace, just plug your iPad into it. Amazing product. Tremendous breadth. What should we price it at? Well, if you listen to the pundits, we're going to price it at under $1,000, which is code for $999. When we set out to develop the iPad, we not only had very ambitious technical goals and user interface goals, but we had a very aggressive price goal, because we want to put this in the hands of lots of people. And just like we were able to meet or exceed our technical goals, we have met our cost goals. And I am thrilled to announce to you that the iPad pricing starts not at $999, but at just $499. $499. We're going to introduce today iPad 2, the 2nd generation iPad. So, what is iPad 2? What have we learned? What can we improve? Well, it is an all-new design. It is not a tweaked design. It's not got marginal improvements. It's a completely new design. And the first thing is, it's dramatically faster. We have a new chip we call A5. Our chip wizards have come up with this, and it's great. It's dual-core processors, right? 2 processors inside, and so we get up to twice as fast on CPU performance, but we've really gone all out on the graphics performance. up to 9 times faster graphics. The graphics on this thing are wonderful. Same low power as A4. We don't want to give up any of that legendary battery life. And even though others are starting to ship, I think this is going to be the first dual-core tablet to ship in volume. So A5 is really quite an achievement and is going to give us something that's up to twice as fast on CPU performance, up to 9 times faster on graphics, and the first iPad was no slouch. So, a lot faster with A5. Second, we've built in some cameras for video. We've got a rear camera out the back, and we've got a front-facing camera out the front. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes. We've also built in the gyroscope that we have in the iPhone and the iPod Touch. Now, having built in all of this stuff, one of the most startling things about the iPad 2 is it is dramatically thinner. Not a little bit thinner, a third thinner. 33% thinner. That's what it looks like. So if you look at the numbers, when you look at the numbers, gone from 13.4 millimeters down to 8.8 millimeters thick. It's dramatic. And for those of you that have iPhone 4s, the new iPad 2 is actually thinner than your iPhone 4. So we're incredibly happy with this, and when you get your hands on one, it feels totally different. And all of these other tablets are coming out, most of them even thicker than the original iPad, nothing even approaching this. In addition to thicker, it's lighter as well, going from 1.5 pounds down to 1.3. And you might not think that's a lot, but when you get down to 1.5 pounds, 1/10 of a pound is a lot. And it feels quite a bit lighter. And it's got an all-new design. It's just beautiful. So this is what it looks like. It's really thin. And it comes in 2 colors, black and white. We're going to be shipping white from day one.
Everybody's been wondering this. Well, stop wondering. We are. Today we're announcing the new iPad, and it is amazing. We've taken it to a whole new level, and we are redefining the category that Apple created with the original iPad. It makes amazing improvements over the most fundamental features of the design of the device, while retaining everything that millions of people have grown to love about it. I'd like to invite Phil Schiller up to show it to you. Phil?
Thank you, Tim. Well, good morning, everyone. So do you want to know about the new iPad? I'm glad. First, new feature of the new iPad, the Retina display. You might have heard that an iPad could have a Retina display. But until you see it, you can't understand how amazing this is. We introduced the Retina display technology first on the iPhone 4, and it's incredible. And to this day, no one has yet matched that display technology in any mobile device. And we're going to bring it to the 9.7-inch screen of the iPad. Now, this presents a problem for us in presenting it to you, because for the first time, An iPad has higher resolution than this entire display behind me. More pixels. So everything you see is going to be scaled down. That's a fun challenge, but we'll do our best. So for example, when you turn on that new iPad, you are going to see graphics, text, icons sharper than you can imagine. They're just beautiful. When you go to read a book, you're going to see text that rivals anything you've seen in print, in newspapers or magazine. Everything you do is just going to look stunning. Surfing the web, reading your emails, and photos are just going to look amazing at high resolution on that gorgeous big display. And this helps customers around the world, particularly if they read in different languages, character-based languages like Japanese and Chinese. The fonts are amazing. It really is a big step forward. Well, the new iPad display is 2,048 by 1,536 pixels. And if you do the math really quick, you'll figure out that's over 3.1 million pixels. So the new iPad, it has a breakthrough display, a Retina display at 9.7 inches with over 3 million pixels. It has the A5X chip with quad-core graphics. It has a 5-megapixel iSight camera. It has 1080p video recording. It has voice dictation. And it has the most wireless bands ever in a device, capped off with 4G LTE. Now you may be thinking, a lot of these technologies consume a fair amount of power. 4 times the number of pixels, quad-core graphics engine, LTE networking. So how did it do on battery life? Well, you may recall the iPad 2, we claim 10 hours of battery life for most of the things you do. And when you're on 3G networking for wireless web, 9 hours. Well, the new iPad delivers the same 10 hours of battery life for all the things you do. And when you're on 4G, 9 hours. So the team has worked incredibly hard to deliver this kind of battery performance so you can use it all day long. Yet, it remains amazingly thin at just 9.4 millimeters and amazingly light at just 1.4 pounds. Thank you. So just half a year ago, we introduced the 3rd generation iPad with its Retina display, and it's remarkable. So that's why it's more incredible that we're sitting here today, just over half a year later, to talk about the 4th generation iPad. It's amazing. The pace the team is at, the pedal to the metal engineering attitude is just so thrilling. And this 4th generation iPad, it is a powerhouse. So what's inside it? A new chip, the Apple A6X chip, delivering even faster performance. We were already so far ahead of the competition, this just, I can't even see them in the rearview mirror. It doubles the performance for CPU tasks. That is a huge jump ahead. It also doubles the graphics performance. They were not close to us, and now we've doubled that again. In addition, we've added a new generation of Apple image signal processor for tasks like face recognition and image stabilization. So all of this power, 2 times CPU power, 2 times graphics power, new image processing, and it's energy efficient. The same 10 hours of battery life of the previous generation. We're also updating the FaceTime front side camera to now FaceTime HD with 720p. Connected to our latest connector, the Lightning connector. It's 80% smaller, all digital, reversible, and compatible with devices now being created for iPhone 5, iPod Touch, iPod Nano. We've added some new cables as well. For customers who want camera connections, we have Lightning to USB and Lightning to an SD card reader.
And so we've been busy working on the next generation of iPad. And to tell you all about it, I'd like to invite Phil back up on stage. Phil?
Thank you, Tim. iPad is delivering a new vision for mobile computing, unlike anything that has come before. It all began with this amazing 9.7-inch multi-touch display and the incredible power it enabled for software. The ability to hold the internet in your hands as you surf the web and do your email and make FaceTime calls. And over just 3.5 years, the team has been on a relentless path, every year updating it with newer and better versions, each delivering further on this incredible vision of mobile computing. It's quite remarkable what they've done. And today we think we have the biggest step yet in delivering the vision that is iPad. And would really love to show it to you right now. iPad, thinner, lighter, more powerful than ever before, and incredibly, excitingly new in so many ways that it deserves a new name. We call it iPad Air. And it begins with that beautiful 9.7-inch Retina display. And as you look closer, you see that the bezel around it is smaller than ever, dramatically so. That's bringing the previous generation in next to it. You can see the bezel is 43% thinner than the previous version, making it more comfortable to hold in your hand. When you look at it from the side, you see how amazingly thin it is. Again, let's bring in the previous generation next to it. It's dramatically thinner, just 7.5 millimeters thin. That's 20% thinner across the entire device. Now, to make an iPad this thin took a huge amount of work over years. The team has just been remarkable in finding every 10th and every 100th of a millimeter from every level of the system, from the bezel to the multi-touch surface to the display and battery and enclosure, shaving every 100th of a millimeter. And the benefits are not only making it thin, but lighter too. The previous iPad weighed 1.4 pounds. The new iPad Air weighs just 1 pound. That makes it the lightest full-size tablet in the world. The smaller bezel, lighter feel, when you hold it, it will be a dramatically different experience than the previous iPad. In fact, this happens every now and then. We have an Apple product that we introduce where all the words and pictures don't quite do justice to how amazing it is until the moment you pick it up the first time and feel it for yourself. And when you get to do that, you'll understand why we are so excited about this iPad Air. Now, what's inside is just as amazing as what's outside. As inside is the brand new Apple A7 chip that we just launched with the iPhone 5S. And it's blown everything away in performance. In fact, Gizmodo wrote, forget the specs, it blows everything away. And it does. It's a 64-bit desktop-class architecture in the palm of your hands. It's an amazing chip with over 1 billion transistors. We have also included the new M7 motion coprocessor as well. Now, this CPU performance is twice the previous generation. And the graphics performance is double as well. We've charted that performance over time. You can see from the original iPad, which started with a very fast chip to begin with, as you may recall, and now we're up to 8 times faster. Half of that performance coming now with iPad Air. And graphics performance, look at this increase, 72 times faster than the original iPad. Again, half of that coming with the new iPad Air. And you're going to feel that across so many of the things you use. Playing games, a 2-fold increase in the ability to do great 3D rendering. Professional applications where opening large files and doing complex operations can be up to twice as fast. This is a screaming fast iPad. It's faster at Wi-Fi too. For the first time, we use MIMO technology in an iPad. That gives multiple antennas, so you can get up to twice as fast 802.11n performance as before. We've also expanded the ability to have broadband wireless access in more places around the world with expanded LTE coverage with more and more carriers. And throughout the entire product is all the things that make a great iPad experience. A 5-megapixel iSight camera that also captures HD video. The new front-facing FaceTime camera with better low-light illumination. And for the first time, dual microphones for better audio capture, as well as Siri voice recognition. All this performance, this thinner and lighter design, and it still delivers amazing all-day 10-hour battery life that our customers love. The new iPad Air comes in silver and white and space gray and black. And like all of our products, it's made incredibly environmentally friendly. The new iPad Air will replace our top-of-the-line full-size iPad. Start at the same, just $499 for 16-gig Wi-Fi config, and with cellular technology, $629. Now we have an iPad 2. It's available at $399. We're going to keep that there because there are a lot of customers that like getting access to a full-size iPad at just $399. So this is our full-size lineup: iPad 2 at $399, iPad Air at $499.
Right, 2 processors inside, and so we get up to twice as fast on CPU performance, but we've really gone all out on the graphics performance. Up to 9 times faster graphics.